Welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to start with how do acids and bases react with each other. So before stepping into the video, I just want to revise what we have discussed in the previous video in a glance. So in our previous video we have discussed about the reaction of the metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate with acid, which gives us salt, carbon dioxide and water. Next, we have also discussed that the reaction of acid and base with metals, which gives us salt and hydrogen gas. Today we'll start with how do acids and bases react with each other. Is there any product will form when acid and base react with each other? Let's examine in today's video. Take 2 ml of dilute NaOH solution in a test tube and add 2 drops of phenolphthalein solution. So what is the color of the solution? When you add phenolphthalein solution into a basic solution, it turns into pink. So the color of the solution would be pink. Add dilute HCl solution to the above solution drop by drop. What happens to the color of the reaction? It disappears. It starts disappearing, become colorless when the amount of acid is added is more. So when you add more amount of base, so that the pink color gradually increases. Now add a few drops of NaOH, that is when you add the base again, so gradually the color of the pink increases. Does the pink color of the phenolphthalein reappear? Yes, it reappears. Why do you think this has happened? So this can be investigated by the below given text. In the above activity, we observe that the effect of a base is nullified by an acid and vice versa. The reaction taking place is written as. So in the first part of the video, we have discussed that among lemon juice, vinegar and baking soda solution, which helps in nullifying the action of excess amount of acid in the stomach, it's baking soda solution. That's because as it is a base, it helps in suppressing the amount of acid in the stomach. The same happens here. So NaOH aqueous plus HCl aqueous gives us NaCl aqueous plus H2O. So this is a reaction between an acid and a base, which gives us water and also salt. Similarly, the reaction between an acid and a base to give a salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. So we'll hear about the term neutralization far away in our higher classes too. So till now, neutralization reaction means it is a reaction between an acid and a base. To give salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. In general, a neutralization reaction can be written as base plus acid gives rise to salt plus water. So salt is formed by the reaction of an acid and a base along with water. So any base reacting with any acid gives us a salt and water. I'll tell you something. When a strong acid and a strong base react, it gives us an acidic salt plus water. One second please. When a weak acid plus when a strong acid and a strong base react, it gives us a neutral acid plus H2O. Whenever a strong acid and a weak base react, it gives us a acidic salt plus water. When a weak acid and a strong base react, it gives us a basic salt plus H2O. Whenever a weak acid plus weak base react, what are you thinking about the product? There will be no product because no reaction takes place. There will be no reaction between a weak acid and a weak base. So this case is completely impossible. So this is what I just wanted to tell you. That is, when a strong acid reacts with a strong base, it gives us a neutral salt plus H2O. Strong acid, weak base, acidic salt plus H2O. Weak acid plus strong base, basic salt plus H2O. Simple. Now let's see the reaction of metallic oxides with acids. Look at the experiment. Take small amount of copper oxide in a beaker and add dilute hydrochloric acid to it while slowly start stirring. Note the color of the solution. What happened to the copper oxide? You will notice that the color of the solution becomes blue-green and the copper oxide dissolves. The blue-green color of the solution is due to the formation of the copper to chloride in the reaction. So, when you add copper oxide, initially the color is different, and when it gets reacted with HCl, it will form copper to chloride in the reaction. So the color of copper to chloride is blue-green color, which resembles, so that as the solution turns into blue-green color, it resembles the formation of copper to chloride, that is CuCl2, and the general reaction between a metal oxide and an acid is salt plus water. If you observe carefully that, look at this reaction and this reaction. Yes, we find similarity between the products and also between the reactants. So finally we could say that the metallic oxides are nothing but bases. The metallic oxides are bases. Now write and balance equation for the above reaction. Now let's write the equation for the above ones. Now what are the reactants here? We have CuO and an acid HCl. They react and form CuCl2 plus H2O, that is salt plus water. This is a salt and this is water. We got about it. Now let's try to balance this equation. What is the step 1? I just tell you the steps, but the detailed video of it is in the first chapter. Is about first chapter, how to balance an equation. I have made a video on it. I'll link it in the description, so please watch that. First step is that to draw the boxes. So I'm not going to draw any boxes, I'm just briefly telling about it. So first step is to draw boxes. Second step is to count the number of atoms on right hand side and also left hand side of the arrow. Later the atom with highest number of coefficient should be balanced first. If you see here, by looking at the equation, you could say that hydrogen and chlorine have the highest coefficient, that is 2. So in order to balance the right hand side with the left hand side, we need to add 2 towards the left hand side, which gives us 2H, 2Cl and 2Cl on both sides of the arrow. Now when we see Cu1, O1, 2 hydrogens, 2 chlorine and 2 chlorine. Hence the given equation is balanced. Is it a skeletal equation or a balanced equation? Yes, it is a balanced equation. It is not a skeletal equation. The equation before we balanced is called a skeletal equation. Now it became a balanced chemical equation. So finally we could say that CuO is a base. Let's proceed to next topic. It is reaction of a non-metallic oxide with a base. It is also similar to the neutralization reaction. Now guess what is a non-metallic oxide? Is it basic or acidic? Yes, it is acidic because the reaction between a non-metallic oxide and a base results in salt and water, where the non-metallic base acts as an acid, which gives us salt and water. Example is between carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide. The calcium hydroxide, which is a base, usually reacts with the carbon dioxide to produce salt and water. While we are performing the activity related to the reaction of acids and bases with metal carbonate and metal bicarbonate, we get salt and water when calcium hydroxide is reacted with carbon dioxide. Since this is similar to the reaction between a base and an acid, so we can conclude that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Clear? So that's all for this video. So in this video we have learned that the neutralization reactions, that is a reaction between an acid and a base, that is they form salt and water, and metallic oxides are said to be basic in nature and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So in our next video we are going to discuss what do all the acids and all bases have in common. How can we classify them based on the similarity between acids and bases? So stay tuned for the next video and thank you for watching.